Hey guys, it's
Calling
me,
of
Captain
the.
Awesome here. And pretty much I am here with some of my fellow A-Holes the Galaxy members, Tevya Smolka
Hello.
and Evention.
Hey guys.
And guys, pretty much we're going to be talking about a huge announcement that was made yesterday by Valiant Entertainment and also, let me go get pretty much what their names are. The company is DMG Entertainment, and they made a massive deal, which now they are both companies are teaming up together pretty much to bring the Valiant universe to the big screen, and it will be a cinematic universe pretty much to learn details about pretty much the Valiant universe. I'm actually going to go for it right now. Valiant Comics and aka Valiant Entertainment is an American comic book publisher company. The Valiant universe is just like pretty much like Marvel and DC, a shared comic book universe. And pretty much what we know of so far is that there will be solo movies in a cinematic universe format leading to crossover movies. There's also plans for TV shows in the future. Also, because of this deal, merchandise will get released worldwide along with the movies and everything else. And yes, movies that are in development right now, because we heard this few years ago, but now they're definitely in development hugely, is Bloodshot, Shadow Man, Archer and Armstrong, and more movies in development, including the crossover movie Unity. And the main characters of the universe, this is what I'm going to get into right now, pretty much are some characters like, Exo Man of War, Eternal Warrior, Shadow Man, and the list goes on. But, okay, guys, what is before I let you guys go, I'm going to actually say my opinion of what this. I think this is great. This pretty much, is going to be very interesting in the war of the comic franchises, with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with the DC Cinematic Universe, even with the X-Men franchise and, the Fantastic Four reboot. Plus also, now with Valiant pretty much involved in this now with the Valiant Cinematic Universe, this is really interesting. By the way, guys, Valiant Entertainment just like DC, own their entire universe, by the way, as well, just like Warner Brothers do. And yeah, so pretty much for me, this is awesome. It's another comic franchise, another universe to explore. I've talked to a lot of the community and a lot of people, especially general public people. Not a lot of people know a lot about the Valiant universe, and I think this is why it's actually quite good because Valiant as a universe, Valiant is pretty underrated. Valiant's an amazing universe with great stories, brilliant characters like heroes and villains, and obviously they even have a superhero crossover team just like the Avengers and the Justice League called Unity. So I'm very excited for this. I'm going to talk about some of the characters later, but I'm going to let some of the boys actually say their thoughts on what they think of this. I think this is great. More competition for Marvel, and to keep the quality up, and more reason for DC to step up their game and Fox to step up their game as well. And I think pretty much, because Valiant are so underrated, they're going to really want to prove a point, pretty much, to the bigger companies and everything. So yeah, Evention, what is your thoughts on this massive deal and Valiant pretty much going to war as well with pretty much with DC, Marvel, and Fox. And also remember, Valiant have never actually ever been live action, so they're going straight into a cinematic universe, and everything like that. So what are your thoughts?
I actually don't know too much about the Valiant characters, but as soon as I heard about not
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot, and I just like heard his backstory and stuff, I just instantly, because I love those type of characters, like those dark and gritty characters, because I'm a big fan of Punisher and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, people like that. So I am, yeah, a big fan of. I'm already kind of in a way a big fan of Bloodshot, and yeah, all the other characters, the dynamic duo of their universe, Archer and Armstrong, like
Mm.
everyone just sounds so cool, and I'm really excited to see Valiant kick into action because it'll be cool to see these characters, come to life because they seem really interesting.
All right. Okay, Tevia, what is your thoughts on this deal and Valiant getting involved with this war?
Hmm.
To be honest, I think about Valiant himself, like you guys said before, I don't know anything about Valiant whatsoever, but I am intrigued because, listen, Valiant is one company I think like Image or any other company I know what they're like more DC. They start bringing out a new like team or a new company into the war.
Yeah.
I know you'll win, but I hope if this works and if it does happen, which according to your good you give it, it is,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm happy for a new blood because
Mm.
if it is Marvel and DC, that would be kind of boring. no offense, right? Don't know.
Yeah,
I
none
love
taken.
Marvel.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I love Marvel and DC, but would get kind of boring actually if we don't have more coming in.
Mm. Okay, that's cool. All right, me. I'm going to start talking more about the characters now to explain some of the origins. As Evention mentioned about something like about Bloodshot and Archer and Armstrong. I'm going to mention shortly some of the origins about some of these characters, and I think a lot of people are going to be thinking, "Oh shit, this sounds cool." All right, pretty much. Bloodshot. Bloodshot is a superhero, and he is a character who is very revenge-driven. He was a soldier, and he got betrayed, and I think there was a serum or something put into him that made him go all silver and everything. And pretty much he, because of what the people that betrayed him did to him, he is revenge driven and he wants to pretty much kill everybody. And his storylines are mostly military and everything. And also, guess what? He is like he pretty much he's got a similar thing to Wolverine with a healing factor. Like he's
He
got
does.
yeah, he's got a healing factor, so he basically can't die, pretty much. So that's pretty interesting. I think Evention hit the nail on the head because Tevya, when we show you a picture later, off the air, pretty much, he does kind of like look like a badass with like kind of like similar to Punisher and everything, and he's
Yeah,
got a
he will
samurai
remind you
sword
of
and
Yeah,
the
all stuff.
Punisher.
Yeah,
yeah.
it reminds you of
On the
Punisher when
season
you see him.
side.
Yeah, exactly stuff like that. Okay, next, Exo Man of War. He pretty much is. He's pretty much Iron Man, but the cosmic galaxy version, where he's like, he's set in the galaxy and he can fly around and he can do energy balls. He's got this awesome fucking thunder sword and just he fights all these monster aliens and everything. It's just fucking brilliant and he is a big
Ooh.
fan's favorite. Yeah, exactly. He is pretty badass. I'll show you a picture later as well of him, dude. You're
Yeah.
gonna like him. Okay, Eternal Warrior. Eternal Warrior has been described as being like the Thor and Wonder Woman of the universe, where him and his brother Armstrong, who we'll get to later, but him and his brother took this, immortality thing, and they both basically can't die. They basically live for centuries and they never age or anything. But Eternal Warrior basically, when they took it, it was like ancient Egypt or something like that, and a little similar to
Captain
obviously X-Men
Marvel,
fans, yeah, and some things like that, like with Shazam and
Black
and
Adam,
in Black Adam, and obviously Apocalypse, and some characters
Apocalypse. Yeah.
that are connected to Egypt and everything. So that's really cool.
Yep.
And then what I
Will
like
be
about it,
connected to Egypt.
yeah, and what I like about it is as well is by Eternal Warrior taking that oath, that immortality, he actually has an oath to pretty much protect the world. So every time there's a big threat, he actually has to go and defend it and everything. And it's kind of like a story where in the beginning it was kind of greed, where he just wanted, the immortality and stuff like that, but then he became more than what he was and actually became heroic and everything from it. And
He became a
you actually,
hero.
it became a hero. It's a really amazing story. And oh, it's just awesome. Okay, next character. All right. Toyo Harada, who's actually apparently the biggest, and I've actually read about him. He's pretty badass. He is pretty much he's one of the main supervillains of the universe. He's like rich and powerful. Pretty much similar to
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor, definitely very similar. And he looks like Tony Stark. When you first see him, you're gonna think, oh look, he looks like Tony Stark. And the thing about him is he's actually incredibly powerful. His powers and everything are like he's basically got heavy telekinesis. He can pretty much do a lot of things, and he has cosmic powers and everything. He's really smart, basically. So yeah, pretty much a little similar to Professor X and other characters. Okay, Peter Stanchek is a superhero. He's basically got the same abilities as Toyo Harada, but he's basically the younger version and the more heroic version, where he basically, he wants to save the world and everything, and them two are each other's nemesis. Just know that, pretty much. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Livewire is one of the main female superheroes of the universe. She basically can do electricity and thunder and stuff like that, and she can fly and everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's just an overpowered beast, basically. And
Yeah.
she's African American, so that's really cool.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think
AWC.
this one's gonna be really cool. I think a lot of people are gonna like this one. Shadow Man, groovy historian, a member of us. This is his personal favorite. He is a supernatural being who is in the world of the supernatural, fighting monsters. He fights. Basically, his world is like magic and everything like that, like Doctor Strange and everything. And it's really amazing. So yeah, that's really cool. Also, you got Ninja and Rai, who are both like ninjas and everything, and one of them's like a cyborg type robot ninja who's like from Japan, so that's really cool. And then the other one's just like immortal, where he can't die and everything, so he's really cool. You got Time Walker, who's pretty much he's a superhero who can't die, and he goes through time and everything, and he's
Time
really
travel.
cool. Yeah, time travel and everything. And Archer and Armstrong. Armstrong, as I described, he is the brother of Eternal Warrior, so he's immortal and everything. But Archer's story is really amazing because Archer was an adoptive child, and he eventually found out his adoptive parents were like molesting children and everything, and they were psychos. And
Oh
then
shit.
one night they actually tried to kill him and burn the house down. But someone saved him. A mysterious figure saved him, and he went to the hospital. And then he ran away to the Himalayas, where he got taught by monks and everything to do crossbow and fight and everything. And then he
Ooh.
returned to meet Armstrong, and they became a double act. Where Armstrong, by the way, it has super strength and all types of things, just like Eternal Warrior, and they're both like badasses and everything. And is there anybody else like? Because I'm just hitting all the main characters right now. Okay, that's the main ones I want to go through. I'm not going to go for any more. And the superhero crossover team, Unity, is pretty much like the Justice League and the Avengers, where all these heroes I just named and many others all come together to fight together and everything against and what this world, this universe is full of, I would say, is of gods, immortals, aliens, robots, types of and monsters and stuff like that. And also, if anyone wants to know what this universe is like, it's kind of like Marvel. Mostly, it's dark, obviously at times, but it's actually there's loads of lightened up characters too. Like Archer and Armstrong are actually pretty lightened up as characters, where someone like Bloodshot is really dark and everything. These military, like Punisher, but also / Captain America too, with the military storylines. And Eternal War is like Thor and
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. So it's kind of like you've got a mixture of everything, which is really good, just like Marvel and DC. So yeah, go
And
ahead,
Time
Tevye,
Walker
your
is like
thoughts.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, exactly. Time Walker is like Doctor Who and everything with the time travel and everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Tevye, what is your thoughts of what some of the main characters of the universe I just said to everyone?
I'm all these characters that you described. I think one of my favorite is probably Exo Man of War because
Mm.
his backstory does sound intriguing with the whole ancient Egypt stuff. And but at the kind of remind me, not as Superman, he kind of remind me of another certain character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to compare him to, but
By the way, just to let everybody know as well about most of those characters I just mentioned, most of them can't die. They're pretty immortal, most of those characters. So, yeah, most of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are quite, because Shadow Man has a regeneration factor. Bloodshot has a healing factor, like Wolverine, and Eternal Warrior, Armstrong, and a few others are like immortal, so they can't actually die. So it's pretty badass. And Evention, what's your thoughts?
I don't know. My favorite is it's a tie between Bloodshot and Exo Manowar. It's because Bloodshot, I love, his idea of like the backstory of he's revenge driven and everything. And, he reminds me a lot of Punisher, who's like my favorite anti-hero, one of my favorite anti-heroes ever. So, and then also you got freaking Exo Manowar, who's like has this sick backstory. He's going to galaxy, and I love characters that are in the galaxy and
Silver Surfer?
like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And so I love that element, and Exo Manowar, he sounds so badass and everything. Yeah. So yeah, that's my thing.
Alright. Well, guys, we're pretty much going to say our final thoughts and everything, end it, and then I'm going to start educating a little bit more on some of the boys here, like off the air and everything about these characters and stuff. But anyway, okay. Basically, guys, my final thoughts. I'm really incredibly excited because the budget that this deal was going to give. They're apparently, the company, obviously the company that have just teamed up with Valiant Entertainment, DMG Entertainment, are going to give like a shitload of money. Pretty much, they're going to add a shitload of money to it. So it's going to give them so much budget for their solo movies and their crossover movies and stuff to really help them compete with Marvel and DC and even 20th Century Fox as well.
Yep.
Which is really cool because now we're going to have the MCU, we're going to have the DC Cinematic Universe. Obviously, X-Men's going really well at the moment, and obviously Fantasy Four's a bit of a question mark right now, but we'll see. And then we've got this as well. which is
Eh,
really awesome. And I'm loving it. I'm loving all the competition right now because it's going to bring the best out of everybody, as Tevya said one time in a few videos like back in the day. So
yeah.
yeah, it's going to be awesome. So Tevya, your final thoughts?
Okay, final thought. My final thought on this entire Excel manual, not Excel manual, the whole Valiant Universe, man, it's confusing. This whole Valiant Universe thing. I'm intrigued and excited because this does bring into new blood into this competition. Two, it's new characters that no one ever. Okay, I think some people heard of them, or you
Yeah,
had.
but to be honest, but the general public doesn't really know them at all.
Yeah, like
So
me.
yeah,
So you become in the general
exactly,
public.
exactly.
Yeah, so that counts as well. So that gives me some hope. Also, out of all the characters, he, I think, I think the guy I might want to eat the girl with electricity because,
Mm,
bear in mind, electricity is one of the elements I do like because one from Cole McGrath, who's from Infamous video game
mm-hmm.
series.
Yeah.
I love Cole McGrath. He was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
As I was saying, I just good because I like the good ending.
Tevya, hello. Okay, guys, I think he may have actually kind
Okay,
of.
yeah,
We've
Ted.
got one more new.
Oh no, no, he's there. He's back again now.
We've got the Universal Monsters as well. If that so happens.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
cool. But anyway, back to continue my thought before Evention goes.
Mhm.
It's just great. I really love it. And as Tevye was saying, new heroes, new fresh blood and everything, a new universe for people to to explore and see that there's not just Marvel and DC. Because the thing about it with Marvel and DC is, which is good, at least with Marvel and DC at the moment for the next 6 years, it's completely and utterly fresh. Because a lot of the things that everyone's seeing, no one's really seen before,
Mhm.
at all. But after the next 6 years, it's probably likely to go down. Apparently, the likely announcement they said is likely to happen probably at San Diego Comic Con of when the release dates and the lineup is going to happen and everything. Okay, so just know that, guys. And I'm really excited for this because, as you could hear by the origin stories and everything, they're pretty original.
Mhm.
So yeah, pretty original storylines. It's gonna be. I'm really excited for this. So eventually, final thoughts on the
My final
Valiant Cinematic
thoughts.
Universe.
My final thoughts on this is that Valiant just sounds like such a sick company that I can't wait to see them get live action because these movies are going to be amazing if they get it the right way. But I'm pretty sure it will because by the looks of it, they have a lot of like kind of secretive preparation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a great, and eventually when it is real, because they like the fact that they said that these are in production, you never know when these are gonna come out. For all we know, one of these can come out next year, and they could
Mm.
have just been because like we said, they're kind of not as known as Marvel and DC to the general public, so
Or
they could
image.
have.
Yeah.
So they could have filmed these movies, had them done and everything, and you wouldn't know about them because they're not as big and you wouldn't really focus on them.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's really what I think. But I'm really excited for Valiant because I'm just completely in love with these characters already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think really, really what I like about this is it's going to bring up the quality of Marvel, DC, and Fox to definitely step up their game even more now by this big announcement yesterday. So I'm really, really super excited. I could not wait to see what Valiant do. Remember, guys, and the thing about this, they can look at the MCU and they can look at what DC and Fox have done so far and really see how they've done it and everything, like the mistakes and obviously the positives, and that's where they can obviously go
Take
forward and
note.
everything. And take notes, a lot of notes from the past and everything, which is good. But
Yeah.
also another thing, remember, this is a company and everything and a franchise which is looking to prove a point that they are
Mhm.
competition and everything, and that's the thing. And this is why I think it's going to be good because they're going to be proving a point and everything at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Pretty much, if you want to subscribe to Tevya Smolka and Evention's YouTube channels, the links will both be in the description. Tevya, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me at actually on youtube.com, so Tevya Smolka. Link in the description. You can follow me on Facebook. Link in the description. You'll also follow me on Twitter. Find my Twitter account. I'm trying to get that thing set up. Whatever. Link in the description. Also, you can follow me on Google Plus. I hate Google Plus, but you know what? That's not evil. Uh,
Okay, Evention.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at I'm Evention. Check out my Instagram, which is I'm Evention. And you should check out my channel because I just started gaming videos, and I think you wouldn't want to miss them.
All right. Also, guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, Captain03, follow me on Instagram, Captain03, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and to get more team videos and more videos about the Valiant Cinematic Universe for the future and everything. Valiant, obviously, good luck to you guys. Well, I mean, you do a great job in a great cinematic universe, and the war continues to get more and more bigger and interesting. Alright, bye, guys, we're out.